Hey everyone, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into something a little heavier: why Kody Brown will never take responsibility, and how that refusal is continuing to unravel what's left of his family. So grab your tea, because we're not holding back. Remember that infamous tree peeling scene with Gabe and Garrison? That was the moment, a turning point, and in hindsight, one of the most chilling. Now, after Garrison's passing, you'd think Kody might have reflected, even a little. But based on history, Kody's internal monologue is probably just silence. In his mind, he and Garrison were fine. The rest of the family? They failed him. That's Kody Brown, a man so allergic to accountability, you'd think introspection was toxic. He spent his entire adult life avoiding the mirror, and nothing about recent events suggests that's changed. He won't change. Redemption isn't coming. The collapse of this family sits on his shoulders. And Robyn? She's got her seat at the table, too. Her manipulations feed perfectly into Kody's narcissism. They're a match made in emotional dysfunction. Kody blames Christine for bad-mouthing him. He blames Janelle for not forcing their sons to reconcile. It's always someone else's job to fix what he breaks. And honestly, that's probably why Mykelti cut him off too. Imagine trying to tell a grieving mother that her son's estrangement from his father was somehow her fault. If I were Janelle, I'd have reached across that table and yanked out what little hair he has left. You can see the love Janelle's kids have for her. It's in every little gesture. You never see that kind of warmth with Kody. Why? Because he doesn't care. He really doesn't. After Garrison's death, all he could muster was some throwaway line about how he wished they could grab a beer and laugh. Really? Alcohol? The very thing that contributed to Garrison's struggles? That's your big wish, not to hug him or tell him you respected him. It's always about Kody. No effort to console Gabe, no move to heal, just silence. He widened every rift between himself and the boys, and in his twisted reality, they abandoned him. That's narcissism 101. You will never get true self-awareness from someone like Kody. He's a covert narcissist. Robyn? She's the inverted kind, playing the eternal victim. Together, they form a perfect storm of ego and martyrdom. They say the right things, but only when it makes them look good. It's all theater. Too many people still don't understand how narcissism works. It's the one disorder you can't treat unless the person wants help, and they never do, because admitting fault would shatter their fragile little egos. So instead, they cast themselves as the misunderstood victims in their own tragic saga, and everyone around them just supporting characters in the drama. Kody was offended that Janelle and Christine dared to spend Christmas without him, as if his absence was some kind of punishment. No one missed you, Kody. They had a peaceful holiday. You're the one sulking on Mount Crumpet with Robyn and her eternally dependent toddlers. He thinks saying, "I won't do Christmas with you anymore," is a threat. It's giving big, "you can't fire me, I quit" energy. Classic Kody, emotionally stuck at 12, stomping off because he didn't get his way. And yeah, he's not just a jerk. He's the poster child for patriarchal entitlement, believing wives should submit without question. Robyn's just there to co-sign his delusions and play gatekeeper to his ego. And pity the daughters being raised under that toxic mess. Imagine being a father whose son died by suicide and having video evidence of all the moments you dismissed him, ignored him, punished him emotionally. No, I'm not saying it's entirely Kody's fault, but the estrangement mattered, and he knew it. He just didn't care. He chose to be absent. He chose to be cruel. And now, his kids have moved on. New father figures, new peace. His absence is a blessing. Even the sibling group chat for the Christmas gift exchange made it clear: Kody's out. and he still doesn't get it. The irony? He's mourning a family he discarded. Meanwhile, everyone else is doing just fine. Robyn's story about being rejected? It's just that, a story. And it's falling apart. One minute she's crying about her family being shunned. The next she's mad they're spending holidays without her. Which is it, Robyn? I'm getting whiplash. Let's be real. It's not about your kids being left out. It's about you being left out. The Brown kids accepted your children. They call them brothers and sisters. They love them. But when it comes to you, silence. And maybe that's what scares you, that they'd see you for who you really are if you let them get too close. You came into a family with a dozen teenagers and expected instant loyalty, like you were on par with the moms who raised them. Girl, that's not how teenage loyalty works, especially not when your idea of bonding is banning snacks in your house. Snacks. That's how you make a kid feel unwelcome in record time. You showed your true colors with that birth announcement drama. That was the snowball that started your martyrdom narrative. You said you wanted a relationship with Christine after the divorce. But when she asked for space, you made it a personal attack. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. If Christine had said, "Yes, I want your kids in my life," you would have made sure she never got a moment of peace. Because it was never about the kids. It was always about control. And that's where we are now, stuck in a rerun of Kody's delusions and Robyn's pity parade. But the rest of the Brown family? They're moving on, healing, building something new, and that might be the only real justice in this whole mess. Robyn's narrative has been spinning for years. She clings to the idea that the family mistreated her, all while begging to be included. It's the classic contradiction. And let's not forget how the OG kids were expected to bend over backward for her children, but not the other way around. They couldn't even joke with them without getting scolded. The double standards were glaring. But sure, let's pretend her kids were the only ones ever treated unfairly. Then there's Kody. Let's call him what he really is, her human security blanket. While his relationships with the rest of his kids crumbled, he was comfortably holed up at Robyn's house during COVID. When his kids needed a father's support, he went cold. But Robyn's kids, they got everything. So go off about family unity, Robyn. And the adoption drama, please. You didn't need to be legally married to have Kody adopt your kids in Nevada. That whole plot line was about control, not love. It was a manipulative ploy to make yourself the legal wife. And you stayed that way. What a surprise. If it were really just paperwork, why not rotate the legal title among the other wives? Why were you the exception? And why would you even want a man to adopt your children into a family you claim never accepted them? Either the family is unworthy or they're not. Pick a lane. This isn't just hypocrisy, it's a strategy. It's about financial control, perceived legitimacy, and optics, all under the pretense of doing what's best for the kids. Let's be real. The only thing you consistently brought to family gatherings was a day-old relish tray. Everyone else brought food, effort, and real connection. But you cry on camera that you miss the family. Maybe what you really miss is Christine's crepes and the OG kids cleaning up after you. And were you the one constantly canceling family events because of tension? Girl, any family of 20-plus people is going to have tension. Suddenly, it wasn't safe to be around them? Funny how safety always aligns with whatever benefits you most. The real kicker? Your dad did the same thing Kody's doing now, ditched one family and picked a new one. Of course you're clinging to the idea of being the chosen one. You're not trying to keep the family together. You're trying to keep yourself at the center of it. But when the strategy began to fall apart, when Meri finally walked away, Christine found real happiness, and Janelle kept her family close through grief. You were left with nothing but Kody and a pile of receipts that prove your version of the story doesn't hold up. So, now what, Robyn? You wanted the perks of being the favorite wife. You wanted the authority. But once no one wanted to play your game anymore, you were left holding some rubbery store-bought crepes and a whole lot of bitterness. Congratulations, you fucked around and found out. Here's something no one talks about enough. When doctors cross the line by commenting on a teenager's appearance, it's not just unprofessional, it's deeply disturbing. Did anyone else find Isabel's spine doctor unsettling? Every time he was on screen, there was an undercurrent of discomfort. In season 13, episode 9, he commented that Isabel was becoming too beautiful and that this was dangerous. That remark was not just inappropriate, it was alarming. And then, of course, came the shotgun joke from him, Kody, and Christine. It was played for laughs, but it wasn't funny, it was cringeworthy. Professionals should support teens through vulnerable medical moments, not objectify them. This issue isn't isolated. When was the last time you heard an older woman talk about a teenage boy being too handsome and dangerous? It rarely happens. The double standard is real. Surveys show many women receive unwanted attention as early as age 14. So many can relate, being ogled at pools, catcalled, or stared at by grown men on vacation. It's pervasive. It's distressing. As a mother of a teenage daughter, I'm grateful she hasn't faced what I endured. I was molested multiple times. I dealt with inappropriate comments and behaviors from adults, including teachers. That trauma stays with you. And it's not just comments. Some medical professionals overstep in even more damaging ways. After one of my own postnatal exams, a doctor made a disgusting gesture and remark. I was stunned. Years later, it still makes my skin crawl. And what about the unethical, sometimes non-consensual, tightening procedures performed on women after childbirth for their partner's benefit? It's disgusting, it's painful, and in many places, it's illegal now for a reason. Adults, especially professionals, have no business commenting on the bodies of minors, and when they do, it must be called out. Whether it's a doctor, dentist, or teacher, it's not a harmless observation. It's crossing a line. Kody's passive acceptance of those remarks and Christine playing along only makes it worse. The whole dynamic was off. We need to protect young people from this kind of subtle emotional damage because it adds up. The good professionals, the ones who build kids up by celebrating their intelligence, creativity, and kindness, they are the ones doing it right. In the end, the message is simple. Let kids grow up in safety. Let them become who they are without being reduced to how they look. And for the adults, especially those in power, do better. Stay in your lane. Let's talk about Kody Brown and how he treats Christine on Sister Wives. Because it isn't just unfair, it's emotionally abusive. And here's exactly why. Kody's behavior this season has been absolutely sickening. He's spent episode after episode humiliating Christine, whether it's during camping trips, confessionals, or tell-alls. And when Christine finally stands up for herself, after enduring years of mistreatment, what does Kody do? He gets mad, furious, because she told the kids the truth. Yes, really. She dared to admit that Kody once told her he wasn't attracted to her. That's what he's angry about, not the damage he caused, not the pain he created, just the fact that she talked about it. According to Kody, that means she's pitting the kids against him and bad-mouthing him. It's delusional. Meanwhile, Meri and Janelle are walking away, but Kody can't stop obsessing over Christine, the same woman he now claims he never loved. Imagine saying that about the mother of your children, then turning around and losing your mind because she dares to have an honest conversation about their divorce. Please, he's not hurt. He's just lost control of the narrative. And that's what really eats at him. It's classic coward behavior. Refuse to take responsibility for being a terrible father, and instead blame your wives for not being good sister wives. Then he hits peak manipulation with, if she truly loved me, she'd stop trash talking. Oh, come on. If you truly loved anyone, Kody, you'd stop gaslighting them. Stop being a narcissistic deadbeat. And maybe, your kids would want to be around you again. Wake up. This isn't about Christine. It's about your fragile ego. By his own logic, if he truly loved Robyn, he'd stop bashing Christine. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. He's still trying to control Christine through mind games and shame. And get this, Christine's dad Rex said Kody called him sobbing. I can't believe I lost her. The same tactic he used on Meri. Sweet in private, savage on camera. It's textbook manipulation. If Kody had a shred of self-awareness, he wouldn't be acting like a middle schooler who got dumped. But he's stuck in denial, incapable of real reflection. He's bitter, petty, and can't stand that Christine told the truth. Because that's the difference. Christine sticks to the facts. Kody spews bitterness. And now, the only person who still matters to him is Robyn. So much so that she might need a shovel to dig him out from under her pedestal. Shout out to Janelle, though, for finally calling Robyn out on her constant surprised Pikachu face. Girl, you knew. Everyone knew. The kids told you for years that Christine wanted out. But you and Kody act shocked? Please, you weren't clueless. You were complicit. And that whole I never loved Christine thing? It's a lie, a desperate narcissistic rewrite of history. He married her for status, Mormon royalty and a trophy wife, not for love. And now that she's free, thriving, and loved by her kids, it burns him. Because he didn't just lose a wife, he lost control. His jealousy, his abuse, the public humiliation. It was never about love. It was about dominance. And when Christine broke free, she shattered his entire illusion of control. Meanwhile, he's stuck with a favorite wife who manipulates through tears and cluelessness, while the rest of the family walks away. And honestly, watching this house of cards collapse has been the most satisfying part of this entire train wreck. Christine was the first domino, and thank goodness she had the guts to walk away. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe for more breakdowns and deep dives. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love to you all.